Good morning, dear students. Good morning, all of you. How are you all? Fine. Okay, so this is a video of class 9, and in this video, we are going to start a new chapter, and that one is the structure of atoms. As you can see, that the structure of atoms is actually given. Here at the center, the nucleus is there. Nucleus, which actually contains neutron and proton together. Neutron can be represented by a small n, and this proton which actually carries the positive charges, and the outside this one here the electron is just revolving. Okay now, so this is a structure of the atom, and we are going to start this chapter. Okay, so we will study in this chapter about the atoms, how the atoms actually contains different number of electron in different cell. Okay, now we can see that first of all, that if I am talking about any of the matter, you all know that matter contains some of the charged particles, and the charged particles can be the result of subatomic particles, and you know that electron, proton and neutrons are there. Here you can see the electron which are negatively charged particles. Here it is written electron, which are the negatively charged particles. Protons are positively charged particles, and neutrons that do not contain any of the charge, means zero charges are there on that one. Charge is zero on that neutron. But apart from neutron, everyone contains some positive, some negative charge. Here we can see the mass of an electron is 1 upon 2000. Yes, this time the mass of a hydrogen atom, the mass of one electron is. So the mass of a proton is equal to the mass of hydrogen atom, and is taken as 1 unit every time. So we have to understand that what is the total mass of electron and the mass of a hydrogen atom. Okay, the mass of a neutron is equal to the mass of a hydrogen atom and is taken as 1 unit. Yes, the mass of neutron, every time it is written like this one, 1 0. That means mass is every time 1 unit. Okay, now the discovery of subatomic particles. Earlier, when the Dalton's atomic theory was there, he said Dalton's atomic theory that atoms are indivisible. But later on, some scientist came and who said that no, atoms are divisible into the subatomic particles, and that one is electron, proton and neutron. Okay, so here you can see the discovery of subatomic particles. One by one we will study about the electron, protons and neutrons that is actually obtained from the atoms, so that's why it is called as the subatomic particles. Okay, in 1900 J.J. Thomson discovered the presence of the negatively charged particles called electrons in the atoms. Okay, first of all, the J.J. Thomson was there. He said that yes, the presence of negatively charged particle in an atom, and that one is known as electron in 1900. Then after, E. Goldstein was the scientist who discovered new radiations in gas discharge and called them canal rays. And this canal rays was the positively charged particle. Okay, and that we also know that proton is actually having the positive charge, and hence this canal rays were assumed as a positive charge, and this one later called as protons in the atom. Now in 1932, Chadwick discovered the presence of particles having no charge in the atom. James Chadwick, in 1932, he actually discovered that the neutron is there and which do not contains any of the charged particles. Okay, any of the charge on to that one. So that one is the neutron, and we will study about this one, that discovery of subatomic particles, how J.J. Thomson has actually proceeded about that one. Okay, now you can see that if I am going to talk about the very first structure of an atom, and that one is Thomson model of an atom. And you can see the Thomson model of an atom just comprises of Christmas pudding and just watermelon structure. In the watermelon structure, you know that some of the black seeds are there and some red parts are there. So he actually compared this Christmas pudding and the watermelon with his model of an atom. He said that just like a Christmas pudding and just like a watermelon, the atom is also looking like the same manner, where the red part in the watermelon is just a proton, and the embedded seed particles, seeds are there negative. So you can see here he actually took the example of a Christmas pudding, and he said that this part, this red part is actually positive, and the negative, this one is the dot, just like a watermelon structure. Okay, now so that positive and negative charge should be equal, and hence the atom can be the neutral. Okay, now so you can read that one, you can see that one, that positive part, this red part is positive, and these seeds are negative, so according to Thomson, an atom is similar to a Christmas pudding. Here the watermelon structure we have not taken, Christmas pudding one of the example we have taken. You can see the pudding has positive charge and the electrons having negative charge, okay, where like plums on the pudding. He proposed that an atom consists of a positively charged sphere. Yes, we know that the structure of atom, one atom which contains some surfaces, and that surface in the Christmas pudding, this red part he took as a positively charged one, this one positively charged sphere. Okay, now, and you can see the negative and positive charges are equal. The negative charge, this one is the negative charge, and the positive charge which are equal. That means the atoms will become neutral. So here this is the arrangement actually given. The negative charge, this one negative charge, and positive charge. Negative charge is actually embedded into that one, and overall that one should be equal. Then that means the atoms are neutral. This is the thing that has been given by the Thomson model of an atom. So this is a really one of the great discovery we can see. We can say that here we have seen that the model of an atom, and in the Christmas pudding we have seen that atoms are neutral also, and there are positive charges and negative charges are there in an atom. So atoms are neutral. So on the whole, this one is actually tell us that yes, there are some of the charges, and that one is electron, and electron always carries negative signs, and that is actually shown in this one. Okay, now so this one is the Thomson model of an atom, and now we will move to the next one, and Rutherford's model of an atom, Rutherford's alpha scattering experiment. Here you can see that Rutherford, here one of the structure he actually took, in this one, and you can see here he took the structure. There are different number of the structure are there, and in this one you can see that when he actually took alpha particle, this one was the famously called as alpha particles scattering experiment. Why this is called the alpha particle scattering experiment? Because he actually took this atom he took as a gold foil. Gold foil is very thin foil, and this one is the alpha particles. Okay, now so you can see Rutherford allowed a beam of fast moving alpha particle is coming, and it is striking onto the gold foil. Okay, now but here you can see in the middle only, that is some particles are there, heavy particles are there. So when the alpha particle go here, nothing is there. Here you can see if this one is the structure, here only one thing, which one is the heavy particle, but outside to this one you can not see any of the particles are there. Hence the rays will pass through the empty space. But if it will come here and strike to this one, it will slightly feel, it will slightly scattered. But when it will hit in the middle of that one, it will directly reflect. Okay now, so this is actually showing that yes, there are some of the heaviest particles, and that is there are another force, alpha scattering experiment, where you have seen that yes, it is deflecting with a strong angle, but it is here deflecting with a small angle. So this one, a few alpha particle bonds of nucleus. So this later on was called as the discovery of the nucleus. Okay, so we will discuss this all in the class. Thank you.